Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Naja Atutijani. Before joining Nationwide, you watched the live stream of the coronation and presentation of staff of office to the new Ohinoi of Ibira land. Long may the Ohinoi's reign be. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Siminalayi Fubara of the People's Democratic Party as Rivers State Governor. In a unanimous verdict, the five-man panel of justices held that the appeal at the instance of Tonye Cole of the All Progressives Congress was without merit. In the lead judgment, Justice Ibrahim Saula held that Cole and the APC failed to prove their case with sufficient evidence. Justice Saula resolved all the four issues identified for determination in the appeal against the appellant. Cole, who was the APC candidate in the March 18, 2023 election, challenged the victory of Governor Fubara on the grounds that he did not resign as the Accountant General of Rivers State before the election. The Supreme Court also affirmed the election of Ahmed Aliu of Sokoto State, dismissing the appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its governorship candidate Seidu Umar. The five-man panel held that the appeal lacked merit, as the appellants failed to prove that the election was marred by irregularities and not conducted in substantial compliance with provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. The Apex Court also held that the appellants failed to prove the issue of alleged certificate forgery and that Aliu and his deputy Idris Gubir were not eligible to contest the governorship election. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has described his Supreme Court victory as a welcome development, stressing that it will enable him deliver on his commitment to developing the state. Governor Fubara said this shortly after the announcement of the verdict, which affirmed his election victory. Osinachi Samuel reports.
Governor Fubara, who expressed gratitude to God, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, says his administration is poised to make Rivers State as peaceful as possible. He calls on all stakeholders across party lines to join him in building a better Rivers State.
It's important for us to note that we need this victory to consolidate on the purpose of governance. We have had a few distractions here and there, and the good news that came to us this morning is a refreshing strength that will ginger us to continue the work of governance.
The Supreme Court dismissed the appeal of Tonye Cole and the All Progressives Congress (APC) against the election of Siminalayi Fubara as Rivers State Governor for lacking merit. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says the House of Representatives re-election in Anambra State will hold in 21 polling units across 2 local government areas of the state, promising adequate security for the off-cycle elections. The resident electoral commissioner in charge of Anambra State, Dr. Queen Elizabeth Agu, made this known in a chat with journalists at the INEC headquarters in Oka. Benson Osadebe was there for NTA News.
On the 3rd of next month, rerun elections will be conducted in 21 polling units in Urumba North and South and Nnewi North, Nnewi South and Ekusigo federal constituencies. The rerun election follows an order of the court that election in the 21 polling units in Nanka, in Urumba North and Nnewi in Nnewi North local government areas be cancelled and a rerun be held. According to Dr. Ago, the INEC has made adequate preparations to ensure that the election is credible, free and fair like the main elections. The INEC Rec noted that 161,914 voters collected their PVCs in Nanka Ward 1, where the exercise will be holding in Orumba Federal Constituency in the affected 16 polling units, while Nnewi has 4 wards with 5 polling units. The resident electoral commissioner stressed that all the political parties involved in the February 28, 2023 elections will appear on the ballot for the rerun.
We have made all the necessary arrangements for security. No civilian will be harassed. Nobody will be molested. Peacefully, quietly, come in, cast your vote, go.
She warned candidates and other political actors to refrain from vote buying and other infractions and play according to the rules of engagement in the standalone exercise. Questions were raised by participants and answers provided concerning deeper understanding of the processes and planning of the elections. In Oka, Benson, Osadebe, NTA.
And from Oka, we head to Ondo State, where the State House of Assembly has screened and confirmed the nomination of Dr. Olaide Adelami as Deputy Governor. His nomination was confirmed during plenary presided over by Speaker of the House, Olamide Oladiji. The House urges him to put in his best in the discharge of his duties, pledging legislative support to the executive for the overall development of the state. Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor has promised to promote a good working relationship between the two arms of government. And following the Supreme Court verdict which validated the electoral victory of Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, residents of the state are expressing a desire for more dividends of democracy. Yemi Dalimo in this report examines the yearning of the people of the state, including that of the opposition, People's Democratic Party, PDP.
After months of litigations at the Election Petitions Tribunal, leading to the Court of Appeal and finally the Apex Court, the Supreme Court of Nigeria on Friday, the 20th of January 2024, finally put to rest matters arising from the March 18th, 2023 governorship election in Ogun State, as it upheld the victory of Governor Dapo Abiodun of the All Progressives Congress APC. The opposition People's Democratic Party PDP in Ogun State, though not pleased with the verdict, advised the governor to be magnanimous in victory.
If the government is connected with the people, you'll be able to know the actual needs of the people. So my advice to them is just to open their ears.
The verdict is now a spur for the governor to do more.
It's a form of a vindication to the good people of Ogun State.
Residents of the state, including traditional rulers, set agenda for the governor.
Him to trudge on and move on in the course of governing our state.
Now the governor can now face the task of rebuilding Ogun State together with him.
We want poverty to be alleviated. The other one is to make sure we have a good road.
It needs to look into the economy more, because obviously it is something that is affecting the lives of every individual out there.
Governor Dapo Abiodun says the focus is now on improving the lives of the people and invites the opposition party to get involved.
We will continue in our unwavering determination to continue to provide the needed governance that the great people of Ogun State have entrusted on us to deliver.
Ogun State is enjoying relative peace and tranquility. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
That report will now join Yemi Dalemo live for more on the situation in Abeokuta following the Supreme Court verdict. Yemi, has there been a display of the spirit of unity between both parties?
Well, thank you, Najatu, and welcome to Abeokuta. The people of Ogun State are loving people who live together in unity, and that is what was demonstrated immediately after the Supreme Court gave its verdict, where the opposition party reached out to Governor Dapo Abiodun to congratulate him, and the candidate of that party also reached out to express his heartfelt congratulations to the governor on the victory. And the governor is not, he said he's not taking everything all, also extending hands of fellowship to the party for them to join him so as to build Ogun State to greater heights. That is the beauty of democracy we are talking about. That is the demonstration of the unity and peace that is reigning in Ogun State. And everyone is moving around peacefully. There was no crisis, there was no rancor. Even as the governor has promised to be more focused now, that there is no distraction to deliver on his electoral promises captured in his Isheya agenda. Isheya means infrastructure, social well-being, education, youth employment, and agriculture. This the governor has been doing. He has also promised to vigorously pursue this so as to deliver more dividends of democracy to the people of Ogun State.
Now that was Yemi Dalem. Thank you very much, Yemi, for that update. No distractions, unity without distractions, and job creation. That's the update from Abeokuta with our correspondent Yemi Dalemo. Thank you very much. Do stay tuned for more reports after this time out. Troops of the Nigerian Armed Forces have foiled an attack on Mangu and Bokos local government areas in Plateau State. Director Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba made this known at the update on ongoing operations in the last 7 days, saying criminals allegedly linked to the recent attack in Mangu have been arrested and arms recovered.
They arrested violent extremists in Mangu local government area, Plateau State. They foiled attacks on locals by Haida militias in Bokos local government area of Plateau State, and they conducted raid operations in Sanga and Jamaa local government area of Kaduna State.
DMO says 29 hostages were also rescued, 94 terrorists eliminated in combat, while 43 crude oil smugglers were apprehended. The air component of Operation Hatlinke also discovered and destroyed several criminal camps. The Defense Headquarters is also urging the public to disregard the video credited to the Chairman Christian Association of Nigeria, Mangu Chapter, accusing the military of not being professional in handling the crisis in Mangu local government area, Plateau State. The Acting Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, urges individuals involved in making malicious comments against the military to desist, stressing that any person found spreading falsehood will face constitutional redress regardless of their status in society. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the detention at the Kuje Correctional Center of 5 suspected terrorists who allegedly burnt down the Rivers State House of Assembly. Omenka Marachuku reports that they are to remain in custody until February 2nd, when their respective bail applications will be determined by the court.
In a 7-count charge, the defendants were accused of committing the terrorism offenses by allegedly invading, vandalizing and burning down Rivers State House of Assembly during the wake of political crisis that rocked part of Port Harcourt in October last year. Besides allegedly burning down the State House of Assembly, they were also accused of killing a superintendent of police. The defendants are equally being accused of using various cult groups to unleash mayhem on members of the public. However, the accounts were read. The defendants pleaded not guilty of the alleged offenses. Shortly after the arraignment, the leader of the persecution team, Adamu Garba, applied for a date for the commencement of trial of the defendants. However, counsel to the first and second defendants sought to move applications for their bail on the grounds that they have been in the police custody since last year. The prosecution counsel, Adamu Garba, opposed the bail application on the reason that he has just been served with the bail applications and needed time to study them and file counter affidavit. Justice Olajuwo agreed with the prosecution counsel that the bail application were not ripe for hearing and fixed February 2nd for hearing of all applications.
And we believe on that day when we get back, the matter will be hard. At this stage, it's just plea taking that was hard. And in view of the fact that the matter was just had this morning for plea of the accused persons, there was no way the court would have proceeded further to hear the bail application, because we, for the first, second, and also we, for the third defendant, filed our bail application this morning. We were served in court with the charge this morning, the 7-count charge this morning, and we proceeded further to file our bail application.
We were able to file the proper charges before the court, and we have arraigned the defendant. So, and the court graciously had what and acceded to all our applications. We apply for date to be given upon arraignment in order to produce our witnesses to prove our case with all the diligence that we required.
Also, the immediate factional speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Edison Ehi, was not listed in the 7-count charge. In Abuja, Umenka Marachuku, NTA News.
The establishment of a world-class fashion center is expected to be of immense prospect to operators in the industry and the Benue State government in general. This is what the federal government is facilitating in order to promote tailoring and related services as a facet of the economy. Elias Itiaf takes a look at the benefits and now reports.
Contributions of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises to the growth and sustenance of any economy cannot be overemphasized, as they account for more than 50% of Nigeria's gross domestic product (GDP). According to a survey by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, micro, small and medium-scale enterprises accounted for 46.3% of Nigeria's GDP in 2021, and according to the survey, it is expected to rise to about 70% by the year 2025.
If Nigeria government can come in and invest, we can produce in a large scale where we provide up to 100 jobs.
This informed the hosting of the first expanded National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic, where the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, pledged the federal government's commitment to supporting these businesses to thrive.
Has unveiled plan to establish a world-class fashion hub in Makurdi for use by small businesses in the area cluster in the state. This hub will be ready in 90 days.
The outgrowers scheme that will be established, that will be encouraged, will further grant more job opportunities.
He called on business operators to duly register their businesses with the appropriate authorities to access the funds. In Makurdi, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
Elias Itiaf is standing by at the Ankpa Quarters Road in Makurdi. Hello, Elias.
Thank you, Najatu.
Now, tell us what your findings are concerning the challenges and what the state stands to benefit from this fashion and textile initiative.
Okay, thank you. The micro, small and medium scale enterprises play a critical role in the development of any meaningful and healthy economy. And these operators have certain constraints. Basically, some of the notable challenges these operators in this sector have is access to finance to expand their businesses. Most of these operators lack the basic capital to expand or grow their businesses, thereby hindering the state from gaining from the benefits. Another notable one is the cost of items in the market. Most of the producers, let's take for example producers of shoes, for example, the high cost of these materials to produce these items now is becoming a constraint. And by and large, if the state government or the federal government or any government at any level come to the aid of these operators, definitely they will have access to capital. And recently, when the vice president was in the state, the first expanded national small, medium, and small scale enterprises. He interfaces with these operators in this sector with a promise to provide access to funds and boost their businesses.
So our correspondent in Makudi, Elias Itiav, on what the challenges are in the state in the textile industry and what MSMEs stand to gain from this initiative. Thank you very much, Elias. Now, the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, has reaffirmed its commitment to rehabilitating major highways in the South-South geopolitical zone this year. This was during the inspection of rehabilitated sections along the Akure-Uwu-Ifon-Edo State border road. Paul Omukagu reports that the inspection was conducted by the team in charge of the South-South 2 zone, consisting of Ondo, Edo, and Delta states.
Prior to the Yuletide under the Operation Connect Your Destination aims to eradicate critical phase sections of federal roads in this zone.
We try to avoid and to remove those problems like that, maybe potholes, fake sections, or problems on the road, so that it will be easy, because we have the interest of the citizen of Nigeria at our heart.
The new management and the new honorable minister we have, we want to channel most of this maintenance by direct level and not through contract.
Most of our works, we try as much as possible to cover them before the beginning of the rain.
Some motorists and residents of OC community commended the federal government, but underscored the need for quick intervention on other field sections before the rain.
Before, this road was so bad, very bad, because even at times when I want to branch to my house here, in fact, I found it difficult, very, very difficult.
Now it's more better than as it is before, but we need the government to do more about the roads.
The maintenance work in South-South 2 zone continues. In Akure, Paul Omukagu, NTA News.
We'll now join Salamatu Lukman in our Kaduna Network Center for more on Nationwide. Hello, Salamatu.
And glad to have you join us here. Stakeholders in the electoral process have advocated the need for synergy towards ensuring the peaceful conduct of rerun and by-elections in some local government areas of Kaduna State. They made the call during a meeting organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission in Kaduna. Achari Maxwell reports.
Some of the issues arising from the 2023 general elections are cancellation of results at some polling units due to security concerns in some areas. However, rerun and by-elections will now hold in these areas.
We're going to have a rerun election in Gabi Federal Constituency covering 16 polling units. We're going to have rerun election in Makera, Kaduna South State Constituency covering 5 polling units. There's a rerun election in Kauru, Chawe State Constituency covering 6 polling units. There's a rerun election in Kudan State Constituency covering 5 polling units. And then a rerun election in Kachia Kagarko Federal Constituency affecting 540 polling units.
This engagement raises areas of concerns such as security, logistics, training and deployment of materials, among other issues. Kaduna Resident Electoral Commissioner Aminu Kasim Idris gives assurances of its readiness to deliver a credible and acceptable elections through effective stakeholder approach.
People should expect transparency, that is in terms of allowing authenticating the relevant voters to vote, transparency in the compilation of the results, and of course transparency in the declaration of the winners.
Sensitive materials are expected to be deployed by next week to the 7 local government areas ahead of the elections in Kaduna. Achari Maxwell, NTA News.
Achari Maxwell's report completes our bulletin. From here, back to you, Naja'atu. Good evening.
Thank you, Salamatu. The Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission and the Nigeria Customs Service have agreed to work as a team in tracking and recovering non-remitted government funds. Kunle Adeyeye reports that the two agencies at a meeting in Abuja emphasized the need to engage relevant authorities in this quest.
The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission monitors accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation accounts. while customs primarily facilitates trade and protects the nation's borders. Consequently, they have unanimously agreed to take a step further to keep an eagle eye on remittances into the Federation account to promote the fiscal agenda of the federal government.
Pursuant to its mandate and the subsistent presidential directives to block revenue leakages irrespective of its source, the Commission as a body takes up responsibility to check abuses of procedure that result in loss of revenue, including evasion of payment of levies, duties, and other related customs revenue with concerned agencies and its partners.
I want to start by pledging my unalloyed support and understanding for what the Commission is set to do, and that is promoting, enhancing the environments under which we generate our revenue and ensuring that there will be proper accountability through remittance of revenue that are collected.
Chief executives of RAMFAC and Customs also admitted that extensive consultations will undoubtedly help achieve the primary targets. Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
It's the sports update with Bade Adile.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria have embarked on rigorous training sessions in preparation for their upcoming round of 16 match against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon in the Africa Cup of Nations on Saturday, as Thursday and Friday have been designated as rest days at the tournament. The Nigerian team, who have won the tournament 3 times, are hoping to replicate their previous victory against Cameroon in the 2019 edition, where they emerged 3-2 winners.
I think our aim now is
us to beat the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. We must be offensive in our approach. We must be able to take advantage of our set pieces, both free kicks and corner kicks.
Both teams have not done so well in this particular competition. The Eagles may claim an edge, but when you look at the play, the Super Eagles have not really flown. They've not been cohesive.
Elsewhere, Arena Sabalenka has advanced to the Australian Open final following an exhilarating straight sets win against Coco Gauff. Seeking vengeance for her loss in the US Open final last September, the defending champion showcased her aggressive style of play, ultimately triumphing over Gauff's determined resilience with a 7-6, 6-4 victory. With sports updates, Bade Adileye, NTA News.
Sports Update concludes this abridged version of Nationwide. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Naja Atutijani.